Hello, dear friends. This is Creative Society Project, a global project where people all over the world discuss and with each other in what society we all want to live in, where everyone is happy and where it's a safe place to be. My name is Alina, and my co-host today is Taslima.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, and I'm so happy to be here. Happy Saturday to everyone who's tuning in right now. I'm coming live from New York City. My name is Taslima Akhtar, and I'm a high performance transformational coach. And this is the type of connection and life I live for. So I'm so happy to be here today. And I would love to introduce our guest today, Michael Padurano. I hope I pronounced your name right. He is an amazing soul that I've gotten a chance to connect with, soulful person who's really on his mission to elevating humanity and being a bridge and connecting other like-hearted souls so that we can share our beautiful minds together and create a centered, focused world where we're all happy, joyful, and thriving. So, welcome, Mike. I hope that I was able to give you the credit and the introduction. I still feel like I may fall short, so please feel free to tell us a little bit about you and how you came to be.
Um, I'm just me, right? Like, there's no definition that describes who or what I am.
Mhm.
I'm just self. I embrace that fully, everything that is, spiritually, mindfully, soulfully, hurtfully. I'm at a point in my life where I've done so many different things. I've worked in so many different industries. I've done international business, international connecting, international working, NGOs I've worked with. I've worked with governments. I've worked with different businesses. The only way to describe me that I've come up with yet today is just a connected consultant because I'm connected spiritually. I'm connected as a human being. I'm connected to people globally. I'm connected in business. I'm connected in every way of life that I can imagine right now. And I'm just here to help and serve and be a service to others, right? I want to show people ways to find their best selves, whether it's individuals, corporations, leaders, whatever it may be. I'm not specific. Anybody that's looking to take that journey, I'm willing to help. Anybody that's looking for a network, that's looking to grow, that's looking to evolve, I'm willing to support them. This is a life is difficult when you're alone, right? So when you bring people together, it becomes magic. And when you have like-souled people, like-hearted people, and different-minded people, you get the global perspectives that are all there with the same pure intent. And to me, that is at the core foundation of everything I do.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful and felt so aligned to many that are listening and gaining that awareness within themselves. Thank you so much. My question that I love to and feel inspired to ask you is what inspires you?
I've reached a point of where I am self-inspired. Um, Many things have an impact on inspiring me, but I finally have reached a point now that I am self-inspired by my core purpose, which is to elevate humanity through knowledge and understanding. So it's a tricky question, but I've found a magical mix within my own life of being self-inspired. Nobody can ever take that away from me. Allowing others to inspire me or influence me or change sort of perspective
Absolutely.
is evolving throughout time because you've got to listen and understand where you're at with others.
That is beautiful. That is so beautiful that you said that I want to be self-reliant. And I am such a big advocate for, living a sovereign life where we know that we have everything within us and know that we have the power, control, and authority over our lives and not be influenced by it. Because, I mean, I know that I say this is because that's the kind of influence that led us to being limited, conditioned, imprinted within our mind to know our full potentiality as human being. And I love this society for the same reason of, creating that space, right? Creating that space for people to come together to build our own creation of the society and the world we want to live in and how we view that to be. And something.
Michael, oh, sorry, Taslima, may I ask Michael? Um, it seems that you have such a big life experience and a big experience in communication with so many different people. Would you please tell us your opinion? What unites all people in the world? Oh, I can hear my echo. Can you hear it as well? Maybe someone has to open Windows with video? No?
I don't, but maybe.
Right
Okay. Yeah, so Michael, could you please tell us what unites, in your opinion, what unites all people in the world, regardless religion, skin color, nationality, culture, background, what we all as human beings have in common?
I mean, we're part of one race, the human race, right? And any difference that exists today, we need to embrace and find the uniqueness, the special qualities of those differences. The differences that exist are so that we can become multicultural, multi-experience, understand on different levels how other people live and act. You know, living in the US, we're kind of in a bubble, right? So we don't always see the outside world, but I've traveled over Europe. I've traveled all over North America. I've been to different places. I've seen how people interact. I've been to the Caribbean, to third world areas, right? And I've seen how people act and how they're treated and how they feel less than. The reality is, our values should not be based on anything other than our essence. Who we are and what we bring to humanity is our true core value. Any financial value, any financial wealth, any accumulation of things, yeah, they're great. Yeah, they're amazing. Yes, they can push your message further. But if that's the reason you're in it, then you're in it for the wrong reason. It should be to amplify, not to have to say this is mine.
I see. Absolutely. And what is true happiness for you?
True happiness. I don't know if happiness is a destination. I'm really starting to believe it's not a destination. For me, I find happiness in the pain also, right? Because the pain is growth. I find happiness in sometimes just sitting in a bad situation or a bad mood or being hurt or being in pain, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, right? I find that, recently I went through a heart and a soul break. I call it a soul break because it was so much deeper than just a heartbreak. And it was a soul connection. And what I realized during this process is not that I looked for the pain, but the pain was the biggest lessons that I had. And looking back, there was happiness in the journey, right? The journey is where happiness is taking that journey, enjoying the moments, accepting yourself as you are, allowing things around you to be as they are. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that you can control is your actions and reactions. You can't control anything else outside of it.
Completely. And I just want to say something that came to me while I was listening to you is I completely understand that in life you have to be willing to walk with pain and joy at the same time. Because in one area you might be happy, in another area that might be lacking something. So in life we have to, or something happens, right? For me, recently I was doing some creative things and then my parents fell sick. So in life you have to be able to walk with, both. And this is something that I like to share with audience, is that you get to decide, you get to choose, and it is within our choice to say, today, what is my intention for the day? Do I choose to be happy today, regardless of what's happening? Do I find the goodness? Do I find the abundance in every situation? Or do I just focus on that one area of my life that isn't being ideal, allow that to take over all other areas? Or do I see the both, and do I still, say that I choose to see the goodness and the abundance in this situation and focus on that abundance? I'm going to decide and I'm going to choose to be happy today. So
Thank you, Taslima. And I was listening to you both, and it made me think that how important it is to remember about the freedom of choice that each person in the world has. Mike, could you please tell us, from your opinion as a person, a human being, and I know that you are a parent, and it also gives you bigger responsibility. So, in your opinion, how you envision society of happy people, creative society? What should be the world where you, your close ones, your kids feel safe and happy? Could you please describe us?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about a little bit of an unpopular opinion, right? Like during that process of the pain, I spent weeks crying. So relieving the pain and allowing yourself to have the personal freedom to cry and feel that way is happiness. To give yourself permission to feel your emotions is happiness. As far as what do I envision for society and humanity, I mean, everybody has to find their personal freedom. It's not about the outside influences as much as it is their own personal freedom and happiness. Personal freedom has nothing to do with any outside influences whatsoever. When you have personal freedom, it the universe starts to align around you to where everything else falls in place. You could be in the worst circumstances ever, but if you find your personal freedom, it will free you and liberate you to be at peace within yourself. That is happiness. As far as humanity evolving that direction, we need to get rid of stigmas. We need to get rid of isms. We need to get rid of anything that divides people. Because the minute we start dividing the human race up, we're already creating angst and anger and fear and all the negative low vibrations. We need to be able to fully embrace unique differences to a point that everyone has an opportunity to thrive within themselves. And then the world will change around them.
absolutely, I agree. Elena, that was such a beautiful question. I love the name of your organization, Creative Society. And I love that name because we are constantly creating. We're constantly creating with every decision we make. We're creating with every thoughts we have, every belief we have. We're constantly creating our life. And it is up to us to be a conscious creator. We want to create with intention and purpose. We want to create the universe we want to live in, defined by us and our personal freedom to know that this day goes as I want it to go. I'm going to define myself moment to moment and carry the beliefs that each moment I'm creating what I want with focus and direction. And this is why I feel that we are all creators under the day. And we're always creating intentionally or unintentionally. So imagine what we can create together if we do it with the same intention. So love it, love it. The next question that I had for you is how do you see development of personality and what conditions we should create in our society to help people develop and implement those abilities?
I mean, I think it gets back, right? And that personal freedom. If we embrace a society that pushes, motivates, and embraces each individual's personal freedom, then our personalities will come through and shine as our individual unique selves. Whether we're lighthearted, whether we're serious, whether no matter what we are, overthinkers. I mean, I'm an overthinker. I love being lighthearted, but I'm an overthinker, and it's difficult for me at times. but I'm happy with who I am. That changes perspective of what I'm doing and who's around me and what their perspective on me is. I don't have to be lighthearted and laughing to be having a good time at all times. For me, sometimes overthinking is my good time. I fully have embraced myself and understand myself at levels that most people aren't willing to look to. And I'm willing to take that dark journey to find my personal light. And I'm willing to go through the pain to find it for myself to heal. Right? There's human environments that we need to heal from first. We need to allow people to heal. We need to allow people to be themselves. We need to give people strength and encouragement to find themselves. The rest of it, I believe, falls in place on their own. It's all about empowerment and giving people the ability to be comfortable within their own skin and be able to grow and evolve forward.
It's
Thank you so
beautiful.
much for this beautiful answer, Mike. It resonates a lot. And at the moment, I have this joy of the moment to feel people who are trying to make themselves and world better and happy. And it's so great to know that in the world there are millions of such people, and volunteers of ALLATRA TV, they just started in more than 180 countries, interviewing others to get to know in what world we actually want to live in. And after that, they analyzed the answers. So were designed 8 foundations of creative society. This is something that that is common for anyone. And we want to show the video of the Creative Society project. So as you can see on the screen, it is 8 foundations and descriptions of them that was named as a key importance in the society of tomorrow for anyone to live happy and fulfilled life, as you might mention, to let people actually start living, not surviving. And while we are watching these 8 foundations, maybe you have read them before the interview. Could you please comment on them? And maybe you want something to add, or maybe some of them are more touching for you, please.
I mean, again, I think they're all extremely important, right? They all go back to the same thing, which is allowing people to be people, allowing
Mhm.
people to be personal freedom to embrace themselves. All 8 of them have core foundations that lead to people finding their best and truest self, lead to them being their most authentic self, lead to them. You can label it whatever you want. You can name 50 core foundations. It all goes back to the same thing, which is allowing people to find their personal value, their personal worth, embrace who they are, and us allowing everyone to do so. Without the isms, without the stigmas, without the fears, without the insecurities, without any of the lower vibrations, humanity can elevate itself. The rest of the things around it will fall in place on its own. We've been learning from an archaic education system for 100 years. Generational learning is so much more powerful than traditional education, what it's considered. But we've taken generational learning for granted because we all live in a world of escapism, especially here in the US. We always want to hide behind entertainment. We want to hide behind addictions. We want to hide behind other people. We want to hide behind trying to chase love. We want to hide behind ourselves. At the end of the day, if we allow ourselves to just be ourselves, our best, truest self for that day, then we are embracing our personal freedom. And then in turn, we allow others to be their best selves. And it starts this chain reaction of transparency, communication, clarity, and just everyone evolving and moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mike, for sharing that. And what came to me when I was listening was that our true identity, the core of who we are free. We are free. That is our nature and that is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. And I know that in the world that we live in, there's so much control and there's so much going this way or that way. You need to be this way. There's so much cultural influence, right? Cultural repression, suppression that is shaped by the leaders and it's our responsibility to embrace the freedom within our own self before seeking it outside of ourselves. And it's a perfect reminder to gain that perspective, to know that I am already free. I may not have fully recognized it, but the first step is to know that I am. And then we peel the layers from there to see how I can fully align to that. Because the layers could be cultural, religious, traditional, peers, media, social media influenced by our own personal life events. There's so many layers that is kind of like keeping us from our true core layer, which is as a soul, as a human being, we came into this world being free. A baby is free, right? When a child is born, it's free. So that is who we really are. And then we were put into the world and we collected all these codes, all these imprints and codings. And now we're sort of taking the responsibility and saying, nope, we're going to create something that allows me to fully express myself unapologetically, boldly, and shine my soul's brilliance into the world, because this is what I came here to do. So thank you so much. And that leads me to the question is, to ask you, what can we do to make creative society more of our reality, as part of our life?
To me, it's real conversations. It's having difficult conversations. It's sharing difficult conversations, having true transparency to our core, discussing topics that most people aren't willing to sit down and discuss, being able to take stigmas and different topics that are just not common and making them common, taking difficult scenarios. Sorry, I had a call come in, and when that comes in, it mutes me.
Mhm.
But it's it's about giving everyone allowing them to amplify their voice, allowing them to be able to feel heard and valued, putting everyone on a podium and a stand and giving them a place to speak. Showing everyone that they do have a core unique value to bring to this world, and then combining that together across the world and give people a forum to be able to lift each other up, because the world tears us down enough.
It's visibility, and every human being deserves to be visible and not feel invisible and unheard. And every soul that came into the world wants visibility, to know I exist, I'm here, and I'm here with the purpose and a mission. So that is so beautiful that you said that you creating the space for someone to speak. That's the first step, to know that you
And
matter.
why I have this echo? All right, I try again. Maybe I can show you my question.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be quiet. Yeah, Taslima and Mike, I'm at this conversation listening these wise and positive words and asking myself, why is it so that we are talking about so obvious things? Why we don't live? in this society if it's so close to each heart, and it just comes natural, isn't it? Mike, you are on your journey. You are on your journey. Could you please suggest to any person that is watching us what can be a first step for any person to also start this journey of self-development and self-improving, let's say? What can it be?
I think there's a combination of steps. I don't think there's a first step, right? And I think that everybody has to find their unique order for doing things. For me, it's a combination of so many things at once. It was not one thing that happened. It was coming into an adversity that I had to overcome, that I'm still overcoming, and being able to thrive doing so under harsh conditions and extreme circumstances. Now, granted, on a global scale, my circumstances are nowhere near as extreme as so many human beings go through. But from the life that I was living before to where I'm at today, it was a very extreme change for me. And it was an extreme circumstance that emotionally pushed me to the brink, that spiritually pushed me to the brink, that physically pushed me to the brink, and mentally as well. And I had to find a way to dig through all that. It was a lot of deep searching. It was reading books and listening to books and doing work and doing deep work within myself to heal myself, to start communicating with my soul and start getting that deeper connection with self and start building that out. Now I have a podcast that almost every day I'm interviewing people and having deep, real conversations about real human topics that most people won't speak about. And I think that's a big part of it, is bringing those conversations to the surface. And they're live and they're around the world. They're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, live. I mean, I do 4 to 6 of them a week. And they're different people from all walks of life talking about all different topics. And we go into stuff that most people won't discuss, because those are the conversations that can unite us across our adversities and struggles. And then we also provide ways for people that, solutions and we did to get out of those circumstances. So we're always giving people ideas and ways to work through what they did, what they went through, and be able to find their own light in their own path. So much of this, it's easy for one person to stand up in front of the world and in front of 7 billion people and be like, this is the way you have to do it. But it doesn't work that way. We all have different lives, different circumstances, different experiences. We all have our own journey and our own path. There isn't just one way. There's one way for us, ourselves. And the only person that can find that is ourselves. But we need to be willing to do that work to really find ourselves first. It was a lot of emotional baggage that I carried through this life. There was a lot of damaging circumstances that I've gone through, that I had to fight through, that I spent hours and weeks and months crying over. Yeah, I'm a male. Yeah, I go on my lives and cry. It happens. I express my emotions because I release them. It's part of being human. These things that you can't cry, that you're not strong if you don't cry, that you can't tell people the truth because you don't want to hurt their feelings, that you can't be your truest self. That's all a bunch of crap that we just buy into. The reality is, if we are true to ourselves, those that will come around us accept us for who we are. We're not perfect. I make mistakes every single day during this journey. Every day, but I own it. I take responsibility for it. I apologize and I work on being better. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, but I
Thank you
really
very
felt.
much, Karen.
Yeah, no, I really felt your conviction and I felt your passion and I felt that this is what you truly do believe in. And it's very important that we stand behind what we say and we really embody it. A lot of times we say a lot of things, but there is no heart behind it. There's no emotions behind it. There is no connection. And if we can't truly connect with ourselves, then how can we connect with the world? And something important that I felt intuitively to share with the audience is this piggybacks off of this is that it came to me and I wrote it down, is that, this journey inward is not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of bravery. It takes a lot of courage to face and look at yourself and see, yourself. And it's truly a journey, but it's also one of the profound, unfathomable journey that shapes your entire life, makes you a greater version of yourself. And the key thing to this, I came to me as I was listening, is what we can do, and if I can share that, is as a society, we can gain more awareness where we can start to see ourselves. And that self-awareness and self-clarity, common denominator is always the self. The self-awareness and clarity that we aren't even aware of. And I think that is the whole objective of all of us, is to bringing that awareness. Hey, as a human being, all these 8 pieces are important into you embodying your whole, healthy, full, holistic life, because you are whole, right? And at the core of it, we're whole. So definitely, I would say that awareness and clarity is what we need to strive for, because you can't dissolve or remove what you're not even aware of. So we need to bring that a greater awareness to people, so that people can find those solutions to do that for themselves, to be able to look at their own self like he's done, with such bravery and courage and vulnerability and authenticity and originality, because those are the true natures of our soul. Those exactly qualities are our true nature. And it is our soul that guided us here today to serve this purpose with this intention. Whether we're conscious and aware of it now, we're always being guided. Our soul is always the boss. And our soul came into this body, into this physical reality right here, right now, so that we all connect. It's a connection. We're all connected to a single vibrational thread. So nothing is a coincidence. Absolutely. I don't know if the next question is for me, Elena, because I was so sponged in with that, but I believe it is.
Yes, please. It's a next question. It's not a question, it's a tradition of our program. Michael, we want to ask you to suggest us someone to interview and to get to know his or her opinion on the same questions we asked.
Oh, right this second live?
No,
Or
I
you
think
want-
in the few, yeah. Who would you like to see come and speak next? In like we're speaking to you, who would you like to see and hear from next? And if you have any recommendations.
the Reggie Waterman, Kelly Bryant, Mark Wynn, Deborah Abbott, Jenny Langren, let's see, Andrea Kahami Summers, Andrea Sanchez.
Wow.
I can keep, I probably
It's a
have about
great
30 or
list.
40. I have a network of people who should speak.
Mike, then please feel free to send us their contacts. And also, we have tradition that if our guest wants to join, so next time you can invite your friends and also be a co-host interviewing his or her. And we will make this ball rolling.
Absolutely. Mike, those are great list of people you have. I feel the energy already. So I would love to hear their view on this society and their perspective and their mind and their creativity. So we're always taking in information and trying to, believe it or not, I was writing down some notes of some things all of us was saying that I had lost perspective of in my journey. So sometimes we're always growing and evolving from one another. So it's such a beautiful opportunity. And yeah.
And you know that this is completely volunteering project that people are doing in their free from work time, and this is something that personally inspires me so much. That we as humanity, even today, I just was enriched by meeting two beautiful people, and when I will go to bed in the evening, I will recall that, wow, in this world I have two more soulmates, and it's like not about even creating; it's more about recalling that we all are soulmates, and that we all can actually just create something great, something inspiring, and to put our time, efforts, and attention to doing something really great. So if anyone wants to learn more about Creative Society projects, please go to ALLATRA Unite's website and press the button join, give your suggestions, your questions. Maybe you want to be a guest or a host or co-host. Everything that you can see is created by people who really want to contribute to better tomorrow.
Thank you. That is so beautiful. And I'm also honored to equally have met you and have another like-minded person from another side of the world. So I'm so thrilled and grateful, deeply, deeply, deeply grateful. Michael, I do have a last question for you.
Okay.
The question is, what would you like to wish to our viewers today?
If I could say one, it would be take the courageous journey of within. No matter what you have to go through, no matter what battles you've gone through the course of your life, your scars are your wounds, your emotional, spiritual, physical issue, or that you've had to experience during this life, it is beyond worth it to look in depth into yourself and find your truest, happiest, authentic self. The going through the pain is not always exciting and fun, and it really will make you miserable at times, but it's so worth experiencing the journey because when you start going further along, the pain seems different after a while. It doesn't seem to be purely negative. It's you start realizing that is part of the biggest growth you're going to have is to appreciate and be grateful for each experience, negative or positive, and then be able to take it forward and be able to learn, evolve, and hopefully show others how to do the same. Because it's about being self-inspired and showing others to become self-inspired.
And I like to tell the viewers, anybody, I'm feeling it, the energy, regardless of where you are, what your situation is, whether you're financially distressed, whether you are worried about something or deal with a lot of panic, anxiety, and whatnot, I want you to know that your heart is much, much stronger than you think. And when you come out on the other end, there is no greater victory that has been won than the one over yourself. And I could not have said that a few years ago, but sitting here right now, listening to Mike on his path to his self-discovery and coming out, blossomed as this greater, higher being that he's on a path and trajectory of, it's a victorious, it's a triumph, it's a life triumph, it's a life victory. And me sitting here today, I feel like being in the journey, I wasn't able to see it. Now I'm able to see myself through him. And I would say, I am so victorious today that I did this. And I'm going to honor myself today. And I'm going to celebrate and be proud of myself today to be able to carry and lead myself from where I was to the greater being that I'm becoming. And parts of me has already become. So I've already won. And I'm grateful. And rest is just me choosing to keep building on that keep expanding and growing on that. And that is what I wish for each of you. You guys are perfect the way you are. You lack nothing. There's nothing you lack. You are perfect. And keep focusing on what is working and what is not, and not focus on what's not working. Because it's the things that are working that are showing you the light way out. That is the tunnel that is like a torchlight showing you, go this way. Leave that, let it be, keep letting it bark, but focus on this light path that we're lighting the way for you. So
Thank you.
so much
Thank
love,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, Mike, for your time, for your ideas, for your energy, for your passion, for your experience. That's great. And for your recommendations as well. I really want to see your friends, your guests, and maybe co-hosting you in these interviews. And for me, the most important conclusion today is let's have all these important conversations. Thank you so much for your time, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Unprecedented event of present history. Initiative that comes from people around the world. Main project of humanity. People stopped being silent about urgent issues of our society. How it all started. May 2019, International Online Conference, Society, The Last Chance. 140 countries of the world, hundreds of thousands of people online, hundreds of broadcast platforms, translated into 7 languages simultaneously. If we all want to live in peace, why do we have a world of violence and destruction? It is up to us to build a different world. How can we do it? December 2020, Creative Society, United We Can. 180 countries of the world, millions of people online, thousands of streaming platforms, 35 languages simultaneously translated. People have voiced today's reality and what they truly desire. And it is the Creative Society. All cultures have an image of the ideal world people want to live in. A world that prophets talked about. The time has come when we can make it real. How will we use this chance? Let's meet March 20, 2021, 3 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Time. International online event of global scale. Creative Society, what the prophets dreamed of. This is the day the world will unite to find out the truth. Join the entire humanity and spread the message.